Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for Farm to Table Bible Study. This is as fresh as it gets, 100% Bible, and this week we're studying Psalm 79. Daily Dose Radio is 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse podcast. And we're looking today, all this week, at Psalm 79. I hope you have your Bible. Come on in here, and we're going to sit down together, open our Bibles up, and look at Psalm 79. Today, verses 1 through 3. Psalm 79 is a psalm of Asaph. This psalm of Asaph is a complaint, or we might call it, I think Weiser calls it a community lament. And that's a pretty good one. That's exactly what we have here, because something horrible has happened in the community. And as we read this, you're going to get an idea of what that might be. So let's look at verses 1, 2, and 3. O God, the heathen are come into thine inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heavens. The flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. That's verses 1, 2, and 3. You'll notice that we have something horrible happening here. The temple's been defiled. Jerusalem is in heaps. The dead bodies of the servants, of the Lord's servants, they're just scattered around. Nobody there to do the job of burying them. So this represents something horrible that's happened. We're not really sure exactly what incidents this might refer to, whether this is the Babylonian destruction, or maybe it could be another destruction of Jerusalem. Maybe when one of the Egyptian kings came in and sacked the city, or perhaps some other time. Perhaps maybe it was during the Maccabean period, and one of the Seleucid kings came in and sacked the city. We're not really sure when this could have happened, but what we have here is a declaration of such sadness. O God, the heathen are come. Now, throughout the psalm, you're going to see that word heathen used over and over again. We have it again here. We have it in verse 1, but then we have it again in verse 6, and we have it in verse 10, and we have it in verse 12, because these are the people that have come in and they've done this horrible thing. They've destroyed the city. The holy temple, the Jerusalem, the city, the servants, the saints, the blood of the saints, they've shed like water around about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. So we know where this has happened. We know what has happened. We just don't know when this happened. So we can't really assign it a name or a time. But it is bad. And so all of us, as we read this and say, well, that's interesting historically, but how does it apply to me? Well, it applies to us because we too have faced these kinds of times, or we will. And when we do, this psalm is a good psalm for us to keep in mind and to pray. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of interesting items here in this psalm that we're going to deal with. One of the things is how the psalmist goes right to the problem, not the heathen, but the heart of the saints, because he deals directly with sin there in verses 8 and verse 9. There are 3 questions that he takes up, and there are 10 requests that he makes as he prays this prayer. But to begin with, what we have here in the first 3 verses tells us the situation. This is what has happened. And folks, it didn't happen just in the past, but it's happening in our present, and it will happen in our future. Times when things just look like they can't get any worse. I hope you'll join me again next time. We're going to look at verses 4 and 5 on Daily Dose Radio. Hey there, friends. Just wanted to remind you to go out and get yourself a copy of my new book, Christianity to the Life, by Cotton Mather, edited by me, David Smith. You can find it at Amazon. It's a paperback. It's also in Kindle form, so you can get it for your Kindle or you can get it for your library at home, however you'd like to have it. If you do, I really would appreciate if you would write a review after reading it. Let me know what you think. And it's a really good book. It'll encourage your Christian walk with the Lord. So go out and get Christianity to the Life today on Amazon. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.